All right, big man, welcome to the first interview episode of The Stretch. Today we will be joined by Bears tight end Cole Kmet, also Special Teams Player of the Week, NFC, that is. Pretty sweet. So Cole joins us. We have an awesome 45-minute conversation about the Bears, and I just want to reiterate what's kind of going on here. So Monday is the full episode, usually a recap episode, although this Monday is coming off a bye. So we're going to be doing some Bulls, some Hawks stuff, and obviously some Bears stuff as well. So that's going to be the Monday episode, kind of all-encompassing. And then Fridays will just be a standalone interview, unless, if anything, breaking drops, and we'll tally that on the episode as well. So here's the first one. Cole Kmet. Always love having our friend Cole in, and I think you guys will like it too. So before we get to it, though, we do want to talk about the beer sponsor of this show. You guys already know. It's a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Let's talk about bye week beers for a second here. So Sunday, the world is really your oyster. It's really your oyster when it comes to Miller Lite. Like, you have the London game bright and early at 8:30, so make sure you get your Miller the night before. Your fridge should be stocked, and as the day goes on later, if you need some, you can get Miller Lite delivered right to your door when you go to MillerLite.com/midshow. And let's be honest as well, you could probably find it anywhere that they sell beer, especially in Chicago. And you could just enjoy your day. You don't got to worry about the stressors, even though the stressors have been non-existent the last 2 weeks when it comes to the Bears. And you could just really watch the whole league at large. So pay attention to your fantasy team, drink responsibly. One more time, to make Miller Lite, to make your game time taste like Miller time. It tastes great and is less filling. Let it be both. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door when you visit MillerLite.com/midshow, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. All right, let's toss it over to our interview with Cole. All right, so here we are. We are joined by the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month, Cole Kmet. Dude.
Of the month?
Yeah, of the week. Okay. Sorry, I fucked that all the way. Don't give me
that award. Yeah.
I fucked that all the way.
Not yet. A couple more games.
Yeah. How many snaps do you do a week, honestly?
I do 2 a week.
2 a week.
2 a week.
Prior to this week?
No, 2 a week. On Thursday, every Thursday I do them. I do it just right after practice, and HT, our special teams coordinator, is always hawking me down before I leave to go inside. Cole, you got to get your snaps, and you got to get your snaps. And I'm like, oh, shoot, yeah, got to do my snaps, and then Tori will be right over there. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do our quick two. I fire them real quickly, and then I get out of there. So it literally, when I say like 2 snaps, it takes a total of a minute to get through that. And
I think you just extended your career to age 40.
That's I've had this conversation with guys before. Patrick Scales, we've talked about it in years past, is like, when I'm done playing football, I could just say, okay, maybe whether that's year 10, 12, whatever it is, I'm going to be like, all right, I can just transition over to this long snapping and just make a couple million and play 10 more years.
Not bad.
That's not a bad life.
Not a bad life.
No.
Not a bad life at all.
That was always the thing, though. I saw you say this. Like a coach or a parent or someone come up to you, like, what's his name? Son plays. He's just a long snapper, like New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a path for you. It could work out that way, know? So long snapping was always like such a focus.
I follow the rivals, and there are long snappers that get offered.
Yeah.
Like
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's typically like the top 5 in the country are the only ones getting offered, but they'll offer.
See that, and how does that work when you're a kid? Like, I mean, because if you're doing it that young already in high school, I mean, you got to have a direction of, you got to be going to camps.
Yeah.
Get recognized and all that type of stuff.
You got to know your own limitations, because I think everybody probably dreams of doing something else with football.
Absolutely. But the people that can pinpoint that early on in life, that's a smart move there. If you got a little bit, I don't want to downplay long snappers here, right? But I mean, if you got a fair amount of athleticism early on and you got some size, I mean, what a great position to go play.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we should do a competition after this.
Well, that's my question, because you said 2. Now, I did some long snapping in high school and grammar school.
I've caught long snaps from you.
Did you do 1 punt, 1 field goal, or how did you do it?
I do 1 punt, 1 field goal.
Because they're different.
Yeah. I do the 15. I think it's 15 yards for the punt, and then I think it's like 6 or 7 yards for the field goal.
Dude, that's
I do
nothing
1-on-1
for you to go out. Like, were you nervous as shit?
Well, I was freaking worried about the punts. Thank God we didn't punt the rest of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
It was only the extra point, right?
It was only extra points. So I was I was worried about the punt. more so than the field goals, because in the punt, not only do you got to get it back there 15 yards, but you got to get in protection. Like you're part of the protection scheme.
Yeah.
You got to go block somebody. So you knew that if we ever had a punt, that they'd be dialing up some sort of crazy blitz pressure to get my eyes all over the place or whatever. So I was just happy that didn't happen. But it went pretty smooth there on the field goals.
I rewatched it too. I've never seen someone more focused on a PAT than you when it went in.
Yeah, I was like,
like, you were so locked in.
well, because I don't want to be that guy either. Because like for Kairos, like his stats and his
Totally.
resume,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy fucking it up for him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I want to make sure. Sure the operation wasn't as clean as it would be with a professional long snapper, but I was just trying to do as best I can so that I didn't screw up any of
put it right
Kairos
on his
PATs.
chest.
Yeah.
So you weren't like, I already got my 6.
Right, exactly. No, I could care less about my 6.
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I was more worried about Cairo and those guys
Yeah.
making sure their operation was all right. So
I
I just know how much that means. To
I
those
do
guys.
have an admission. I looked at him and I was like, he's gonna fuck this up. I just assumed. I also just assumed you had never, like, not never, but
I've never done it before.
weren't working on it.
Wasn't in your repertoire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the back pocket there. For 7 years.
Put it right on his chest.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah. And I think what helped was being so exhausted from the drives that like I didn't even think about it.
Right.
Like, I just
Yeah,
got down
probably.
and I'm breathing really heavy and just tossing that thing.
Try not to
Don't think,
puke.
just shoot.
Yeah.
But that does suck. Like you bitched that guy into the end zone, and
Yeah.
like you can't even like really celebrate. You're like, oh fuck.
Well, it
Gotta
was
get
like-
right back on the
We
field.
got the cricket back celebration.
Yeah, no, I did celebrate, and then I'm about to like kind of go to my spot on normal field goal, and I'm like, oh, I'm snapping now. I'm snapping this thing.
Yeah.
You don't think about it. And I was telling Tori, I'm like, hey man, if we ever have a punt, because I usually come off the field for punt. Like I might, out of habit, just come off the field. Like you got to find me to tell me to stay on. The field.
It's muscle memory.
Yeah, it's not like okay,
Yeah.
boom, third and 8,
Totally.
and then we don't get it, or 4th and 8. All right, I'm coming off the field.
See ya.
So I was like, you got to make sure if you see me, like you got Cole, stay on the field. But again, didn't get to that. so.
Credit to you guys for just keeping Tori on the sidelines then.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. And then Tori was fine with it because I think his net punt was super high.
It was like, I think it was like a record.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I brought
It's like
that up to
61
him.
yards.
It's like he's like, I wouldn't mind if we don't punt the rest of the day. 'Cause I think my net's pretty good right now. So those guys know all like the stats and what's going on. So
That's such a
it
different
worked out well though. It was good. It was good.
Dude, how are the vibes? Like off the field, obviously the whole city's buzzing right now.
Yeah, no, I think we feel good. I think we started really feeling good towards that back half of the of the Indianapolis game. I think things started to click for us. I know we didn't win that game, but when we went back to watch the tape, you could see the things kind of coming together for us, and obviously a game that we felt we should have won there, but and then rebounding against the Rams, and now on to 3 straight here. So. We feel good about where we're at. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do going forward here, but we've made a lot of progress, I think, over the past 3-4 weeks. And, I think those things are all applicable down the road. I don't think those are just things that'll just be there for those 3. I think there's a lot of sustainable things that we did, offensively speaking, that can continue on throughout the season.
What was the biggest change? Because week 1, you played like half the snaps.
Yeah, I did play half.
We were
like, what the hell's going on?
What the like?
I was wondering what's going on too.
Were
yeah.
you surprised?
No, I was surprised a little bit. Yeah, I think when we have all the guys that you have, you want to be able to personnel it correctly, where you're getting guys in the right spots and getting guys on the right type of routes and the right type of blocking schemes, all those type of stuff. And I think it just got a little away from us a little bit in that first game, and
too many toys.
Yeah, we have a lot of toys.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good toys. I mean, you look at like Keenan Allen had a big day the other day. DJ had a big day 2 weeks ago, and then 3 weeks ago, Rome had a huge day.
You had the 10 reception.
Yeah, so it's like we got a lot of guys, and there's going to be instances where hey, Keenan and Rome go off, and DJ's just kind of there, or DJ goes off, and I don't get much or whatever it is, and that's just kind of the flow of the game, and that's just how it is. And there's only so many snaps in the game. There's only so many times you're really going to be able to be passing it like that, and preferably you want to be getting the fourth quarter and be running the ball mostly because you're up by a score and a half. So that's all part of it, and. I know Shane, we had a good talk with Shane about how we wanted to go forward with things, and he had a good talk with us and how he wanted to see us operate at a better level throughout the practice week. And I thought we both met those challenges from the player perspective and the coaching perspective. And I thought obviously the conversation that everyone was talking about that came out, and it was all good stuff, and I think we've been progressing forward that, and we've had a good relationship with us and the coaches.
You mentioned the player and the coach perspective. From the fan perspective, it's palpable. Like the progression week over week, you can like grab it out of air. It's
cool.
It's very.
So as fans, you guys you're juiced about it.
Oh,
you feel like it's a tangible. It's a little more tangible.
I'm sad you guys aren't playing this week.
Usually like you grew up a Bears fan. Usually when it's a bye week, it's like we don't got to deal with the Bears. You know how it goes. But now it's like God damn it, we want to watch the Bears.
Back to that conversation that you guys had with Shane. How did that come together? Did you guys have a players meeting first, or was like you, Caleb, whoever the leadership group was that made that call?
Yeah, I don't really remember necessarily how it came, but I remember we always talk with Flus to check in. Like he's obviously the head man, and as captain, we always have our captain's meeting, and we talk to him about things for the week and what we want the message to be, and he'll relay us to what he's thinking, like what the keys to the game are against our specific opponent, and it's like our job as the leaders of the group to kind of push that on the guys in the locker room in terms of how we do things and what's the focus for the week, and whether it's the fundamentals in the walkthrough or it's just like little things like that that we focus on. And I think I'm pretty sure it kind of got brought up in that type of meeting, and I'm sure Flus felt like it was good for us to talk with Shane, and so we did that. And it was a great conversation, and I thought a lot of good has come from it so far.
Was it like, can we start slinging it?
No, it wasn't even like that. It's just more so like our process throughout the week. It's not even like, we don't like your play calls, or like, he's telling us, I don't like how you guys are playing. It's more so, hey, how can we be better throughout the week? Because I really think like what really dictates, and I feel like this, is when you're going to have a good game is how you practice throughout the week. And I think that's really real, and I don't think that's like fake stuff or anything like that. I think you can tell the vibe of where you're at as a team throughout your practice week. And if you have a solid Wednesday and you make up your mistakes on Thursday, and then you have a really clean Friday, usually you're gonna have some really good games. And I thought we've put some really good practices together throughout the weeks, and that's a credit to Shane and to the coaching staff for kind of putting that together.
Yeah, because I think there were people who are hitting the panic button about the offensive line a little bit the first couple games. Yeah. And then it feels like that's been really cleaned up too.
Yeah.
Everything is just progressing again.
Yeah, and there's so much to an operation of an NFL offense that people don't see, and maybe you don't see a guard block somebody, and you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, why isn't that guard block? Well, maybe that guard's actually not supposed to block that guy. And there's just things to that, like there's nuances to the protections that people don't know, and then there's things. I mean, look, you can't. I mean, Caleb's been playing awesome, but like he is a rookie, and there's looks that he's never seen before, and that he's never had to experience in college, and all those type of things. So he's getting used to that as well, and I think he's taken steps against pressure and in the blitz week over week, and you've seen that come to fruition. So all those type of things playing to one another, and look, guys are going to get beat here and there. It's just a matter of you want to clean up the details of the operation so you don't have free guys coming in.
Yeah, the other team gets paid too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
But was that week 2 the Houston game? That's when it was. You could see it the most.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought like that week, if you look back on the week 2, like there's aspects of our operation being bad. There's aspects of guys getting beat, and there's a lot to it, and it accumulates to 7 sacks or whatever, 8 sacks, whatever it was. But when we looked back on it, it wasn't like, all right, at least that game specifically, it was like, all right, we really didn't get physically beat that much in the pass pro there. It was just more some operational things that we need to get cleaned up.
Yeah, picking up those twists.
That's very good to know.
Yeah, well, things like that, and just like who we're going to, who we're sliding to on a play. I mean, things change depending on the pressures that we see. So if you see a certain guy coming, like you might want to re-mic a protection, or you might want to slide a protection.
Yeah.
And those are all things that the offensive line has to work with the quarterback with, and that the quarterback's got to be in sync with the offensive line with, so he knows, hey, okay, I might have a free runner here, so I have to go to my hot. Or, this play doesn't have it hot, I got to check to something. These are all these things that you got to go through on each and every play that Caleb's now been experiencing for the past 6 weeks, and he'll only get more cracks as the season goes.
Yeah, the mic'd up with Shelton. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, that's a great.
I got fucking fire, man.
Well, that's how we talk. That's how you talk out there. And it's like no one's coming at Caleb.
Of course,
it's just how you're talking out there.
That felt like very normal.
That's very real. I didn't know if either one of them are mic'd up. It must have been just the soundboard that got him or something like that.
Maybe I thought maybe Caleb. I don't know. But it was a great little clip.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what's going on every play. Like we're cussing at each other and like trying to get each other's attention on what's coming, what's not. So that was a cool clip.
That was a great clip.
Who's the best shit talker on the team?
Best shit talk.
At least on the offense, you probably see it from them the most.
Oh man, we really don't got many guys that are like shit talking. Like Caleb will get in people. Oh, you know who? Doug Kramer, which is surprising.
The Hinsdale Hammer.
So I'm next to him on field goal, and he'll be like in dudes' faces after just a field goal, like stuff I'm uncomfortable saying. I won't even say in here. Like he is saying some crazy ass shit to the guy across from him, and I'm like, Doug, get the frick off the field, man. Like, holy cow!
I get
stuff.
like butterflies when he comes in as a fullback.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like,
I'm excited.
It's
exciting. Yeah, it's
what number is he? 68?
68.
Yeah,
68.
It's Kramer time. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, let's go. Let's get this going.
Yeah. He's reporting as eligible. It's time to go.
Oh, we got to get him a ball at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that happens at some point. That'd be cool.
But that's good to know, though, that week 2 is mostly operational from what you're saying, just kind of growing pains, second game of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Personnel-wise, it was like, oh, shit, are we on
it's just a mismatch.
And look, there's don't get me wrong, like there's aspects that like we can always get better at physically, and like those losses are going to happen in a one-on-one scenario, but the things that you have to crack down, especially in the NFL, are your mental mistakes and your operational mistakes. So those are the pre-snap penalties, post-snap penalties, who you're going to, your assignment-wise, all that stuff. That's got to be clean. And I thought we've been much better over the past couple.
Yeah,
weeks
definitely, especially with the pre-snap penalties.
Yeah.
And Shane's been willing to adapt. Like, hey, He's
been awesome, man. Like, just talk about like a coach wanting to work with his players. Like, it's been awesome, and he's super receptive to things that we like or things we don't like, and he's willing to change on a dime like that. And
because that could be rare. Like, I'm sure you had coaches that are like, hey, this is the offense.
I mean, look, everyone's got egos, whether we're as players or as coaches. Like, whether it's his stuff that he wants to run or this or how he views something. But, like, I'm telling you, like, when we had that conversation, it's been awesome. And he's been really great, and he's been really cool to work with so far this season. And I think guys have been really receptive to him, especially the past few weeks, for sure.
I've got a really dumb question.
Yeah.
So now that you got Rome and Keenan, Swift, do you just, like, feel more open out there?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they're
like, this is easier than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, all these. Now I'm going against linebackers like all the time, which is really awesome. And I'm not always having to go against a DB or nickel type. Right. And I mean, these guys are just unbelievable in space. I think Rome. I don't know what Rome's stats are right now, but like when I watch it's really unbelievable, and he's gonna be a really special player as he continues to develop. He's been awesome. Obviously, you got a guy like Keenan Allen who could be a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And, you watch him go to work every day. It's pretty awesome. Obviously, DJ's DJ. And then, DeAndre out of the backfield. When you get him in open space on some of the screens, he can do some really cool stuff.
He's been fantastic.
And you got a pretty good trigger man, too.
The trigger man's great.
Yeah.
He can toss the pill, that's for sure.
Yeah. Eddie, we were talking about that, the second one to Keenan.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's no defense for that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we ran that play in practice, and it looked exactly like that. And It was awesome to see it just translate right to the game, and we get the look that we wanted, and all you got to do is make a professional throw and a professional catch, and
it was gorgeous.
It was awesome. It was beautiful. Man. Yeah, he can thread it.
I wanted that slow mo, like set to Mozart. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, did you have your first moment through 6 games where you're like, wow, that was a throw? Like,
with him?
Yeah.
Geez. I feel like there are so many moments, and even like on some of the losses we had, like you could see it's there. And I mean, for me, the one over the middle against the Rams was for me, because like that type of middle of field seam throw that you get, and like it's muddy. Like if you're looking at it, and like if he didn't throw it, like no one really would have known. Like that it's not.
It didn't look open.
Yeah, that's open.
Yeah,
and that's NFL open. Right. And you're taught to throw that, and that is an unbelievable throw. And the backer didn't like step up as much as maybe we wanted to, but he gets it just over the top of him like that. That was some cool stuff to see. He's not afraid to throw over the middle of the field, which is really cool. Yeah. Really cool. I think that was the one for me, that the first one where I was like, oh, hell, this is shit. And then the one the other day where I was in pass protection, and I look up on the scoreboard, and he's scrambling out. So I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta let go of my guy now, because I'm gonna get a holding if I keep blocking this dude. So I let go, and I realize he's in scramble mode, and then I leak down the field a little bit, and he throws across his body, and then we get like 20 seconds.
That one was awesome.
That one was
remember
unbelievable.
In real time watching it, I'm like, oh fuck, he's throwing across his body in the middle of the field, and it was just a dime to you.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was cool to see. That was just me and him kind of working off one another and just making something happen. But
how long does it typically take? It doesn't matter if you're in high school, college, NFL, whatever, to actually gel with the quarterback. Is it different from quarterback to quarterback? Is it like soulmate for some guys and longer for others?
I mean, I don't know. I always feel like I've developed quick and good relationships with the quarterbacks. I mean, maybe that's just my experience of playing with so many in the league. But like I remember when I always had a really good rapport with Justin when he was in. But like even when Tyson stepped in, I had some really good games. And then obviously with Caleb so far, I feel like we've had a really strong connection through the first 6 games of the season. But it definitely is a thing that takes time, and I think things like that, where that play I was just talking about, where I'm blocking and I release downfield, like. That's having a feel for like who the quarterback is
That's why I asked,
and what he does. And I know Caleb's a guy that can extend the pocket like that, and Caleb's a guy that's looking to throw always. Where he escapes. Like I know he's trying to find somewhere to put the football. So I think that's just a good feel I think I have for this point on his play style and how he likes to play the game. But it can take some guys. Quite a few weeks. It's not an easy thing to get going. I think with the receivers, it's a little harder to get that gel going right away. Like if you had a receiver just come in off the street and you ask them to plug it in, like that's going to take a little more time just because there's more distance between the throw and catch point.
For sure.
Whereas for me, I'm a little closer to the ball usually, and it makes it. And I'm a much bigger target than a lot of those receivers.
Of course, yeah.
So
going back to Keenan, kind of his coming out party in London, what makes him so important to the offense? Because the 2 games we lost, he missed. Those were winnable games.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think.
Yeah, why aren't you 6-0?
Yeah, Keenan Allen. No, I think with Keenan, his ability to work underneath as well, and his suddenness underneath is really spectacular, and is able to find zone spots and really just win a one-on-one. And we had that 4th and short scenario where you can just kind of throw a slant route to him, or we had a couple 3rd downs where he's able to get open. So. He's great on 3rd down. Obviously, in the red zone, he presents as a big, lengthy target, and just a guy that he's going to be in the right spot all the time. He's seen so many looks in this league, and there's not a single coverage that's going to fool this guy. So he knows what he's doing on that end, and I think he's obviously been a big leader in that receiver room and helping Rome out for sure, and kind of just gelling everybody together. But you add him on the field, it's just another guy you have on 3rd down that can get open. So
he looks so big fluid out there.
Yeah. He's nice with it, and his ball skills are just tremendous. They're outstanding. So.
And what's been the biggest difference with Swift so far? Like these last couple games, he's really going to come out.
Well, I think it was him just getting him in open space. You know what I mean? And you now have Roshan kind of doing the heavy, dirty lifting of some of those short yardage runs. Yeah. Which I think they pair well with one another. Totally. They're 2 different skill sets in that regard. But whenever you can get Swift in the open space like that and give him 5-8 yards of cushion from a defender, like. There's not a lot of guys who are able to catch him or stay up with his quickness. So I think you've seen that with some of the screen games we've been able to do, and the space that we've been able to create on some of the runs that he's been on. So it's been good to get him going for sure, because he's just another electric opponent to the offense that we need to have.
Yeah, and listen, I'm sure you've heard it. I don't even want to ask you this because I don't care about it, and only the outsiders care about it. But
and you're an insider.
Yes. Well, I'm not an insider, but we're
on the same. Yeah,
all Chicago. We're all boots on the ground. But in the locker room, is people making murmurs about the schedule, about how you haven't beaten anyone, you haven't played anyone, like all the wins are against bad teams, or do you guys not?
No, we don't. Yeah, I don't think we really care about that. I didn't really know that honestly till after we left. I saw something where it's like, oh, you guys have only beat these teams, but that's also who we've played. That's also who we've played.
Played who's on your schedule, and you're killing them.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And I don't care who you are. Like to beat a team by multiple scores in the NFL is not easy to do. It's just not. And I thought Jacksonville, for us, I thought we ran the ball well on them, and that's a good defensive front that we just played against. So I thought that they were very good up front in that regard. Carolina obviously had a spark with Andy coming in, as quarterback, and they were doing some things there. But again, you can only play the teams on your schedule, and I will say, this is still the NFL. Like this isn't like college football where we're playing. We're Bama and we're playing like Colgate or something.
Right.
Anybody that likes Colgate or whatever.
You feel having to go up against your defense all camp?
Yeah, that helps for sure.
Or we're playing one of the best defenses in the league every day.
Yeah, for sure. And we still do like competition periods throughout the week. So it'll just be a couple plays sprinkled in there throughout practice that that coach will have up, and we're going against our defense there. And usually Flus uses that time to bring some crazy pressures, and we haven't done too well the past couple of weeks, but it really only makes us better, honestly, from it. And you see all those guys that they have over there, and even the depth in the secondary that we have is pretty awesome,
which we saw in London too. Because I think all the fans were a little bit worried, like no Brisker, no Stevenson. That's it's not easy to lose 50% of your starting secondary.
It's tough, and for those guys coming in, and I know Black got that interception there at the end, and Elijah got that picked up the fumble and returned it. Like those are good things to see, and we got a lot of depth over there, and
it's a good football team.
And honestly, Flus dials it up on defense, man. Yeah. He dials it up on defense. It's fun to watch from the sideline.
When you see Gordon creeping in,
it's time to go.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's a great blitzer.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So just a really good unit over there, and those guys bring a lot of energy, and they are the heartbeat of this team, and that they're what makes us go, and I'm glad that offensively the last couple of weeks we've been able to provide a spark as well.
Yeah. So obviously you never like to punt, but when you go off the field, are you watching Torrey punt? Because
all the time.
We talk about how it's kind of exciting now to punt. In a weird way.
It's unbelievable, actually. Well, it'd be funny because usually when special teams is up, guys that aren't on teams, whether it's like me, Keenan, DJ, they want us doing some drills just to kind of stay loose and to be doing something during the special teams period. And you'll catch all of our coaches when punts up, we'll just kind of and we'll all be watching Torrey
You're
punt.
A baseball guy. When Shohei did it last night or the night before, where you hit a bomb and the camera can't even track it. He's done that a few times where it's
crazy.
Where's the ball, and then all of a sudden you just see
lands on the 5.
It lands on the 5, and the receiving the punt returners just sprinting backwards.
It's unbelievable. And then some of them how they just hit on the 3 and then just go right out of bounds. It's crazy.
It's I know he's trying to do that, but you can't actually.
But it's Phil.
That's
a way.
Control that.
Crazy.
Well, that's what I was asking him. I'm like, so how do you control the rotation of it to do that? He's like, anybody that tells you that they can control the rotation they're just bullshitting you. And I'm like, really? Yeah,
you can't. That's an impossibility.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it's how you hit the ball or how you formate the laces when you kick the ball or something like that. But it's still unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Yeah,
he's a freak,
and that's a crazy weapon to have. I mean, I think even when I look back to the Rams game, we get a first down, they burn a couple timeouts, and then we end up getting stopped there in that 4-minute situation, and there's a minute left, and now we're able to punt and pin. And Matt Stafford has the ball at the 5-yard line. Has to go 95 yards to go win the game with no timeouts.
For a rookie quarterback too, that's
huge.
We talked. I mean, the win percentage. It's I don't know. It's a fake stat kind of, but it is kind of cool. It was you who found that stat, right?
What, the win probability?
The win probability. So after the punt, it went. You guys were 70 to 84%.
Yeah, it was a 6%
because of how because it was a 16-yard difference over an average punter. So you backed them up that far. You just increase your odds to win by 16%.
That's outstanding. Yeah, I mean to have that along with the defense that we got, it's huge because you just buy them a couple first downs too as well. Yeah. So. I'm glad we have him for sure. I thought that was a great use of a 4th round.
I was going to say that. I need a camera on Poles every time they punt because he's just fist pumping.
I mean,
because so many people talk shit about taking a punter in the 4th round.
I got that the ESPN draft update notification on my phone. I'm like, a punter?
Yeah.
I
from Australia.
Well, it's funny. When I was doing my pod the other day with I don't know if you guys know who Mark Carmen is with
yeah.
But he was he's like, I was a little pissed about them taking the punter in the 4th round. And I go, oh, so who would you have taken? He's like, I would have taken best offensive lineman available. And I go, so who was that? And he's like, oh, I don't know who that was. I go, then let's not be talking about that. You don't know, I don't know who the next offensive lineman was, but this dude's impacting the football team in
crazy ways. Yeah,
crazy
it's
ways.
awesome. Does he ever? We asked him if he was going to, but does he ever fuck around? Because he's a big athlete. He's not a little scrawny.
Yeah, no, he's a big dude. Yeah.
Does he ever fuck around offensive receiver drills or anything?
No,
against the rules?
No, he ain't doing that.
Yeah,
he's
what's he like in the weight room?
Honestly, I haven't seen it. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if he's in there or not. I'm in there.
He looks
I'm in there all the time. I don't know where he's at.
Is he the dude from the Replacements that's ripping cigarettes?
Ripping cigarettes. No, he definitely takes what he does very seriously.
No, of course.
Yeah. But that's funny. No, maybe he's just ripping calisthenics now that you say that.
Flexibility training.
Staying flexible. Yeah.
Here's a question for you. So sort of being in media yourself now, how up to
that was insulting.
Well, I mean, it's not as full time.
I know, but just you're sort of in media.
Are you keeping your ear to the ground on what the fan base is saying on that, on everything? Are you like, I'm just going to give my takes on what's actually happening?
That's a good question. I kind of rely on my show with Adam, 85 Kmet. I usually rely on Adam to kind of be like the ear for me on like what's being talked about, because I don't like, I'm not on Twitter or anything, so I don't like see all that type of stuff, and I know all that stuff can get smart. Really just
there is a follow-up on that note.
Okay, so all that crazy stuff. So I mean, look, I understand the generic storylines come out of the game. Like, I understand, like, okay, yeah, we didn't put up any points and the defense scored all the points in the game and we won. Like, okay, what's the talk? Like, what's the deal with the offense, or, you know, those type of things. So I understand, like, because I'm playing in the game too, like, I understand, like, what's going to be the storylines that come from it. And being a Bears fans, I understand what people, you know, gravitate
you grew up
towards the most storyline wise.
I think our quote was, "Week 1 was every Bears game we've ever seen."
Yeah.
Well, that's funny you say that, because we won that game, and I mean, we're all excited we won the game. And I was telling you, I was like, that game reminds me of the first 4 games of my rookie year. Remember that?
Oh.
Remember that? We're 4-0.
Yeah.
And it felt like we were 0-4.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like, because you can feel the media coming in,
Right.
like, talking to you, and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like a 4-0 football team right now.
We're in first place, fellas.
We're in first place.
Yeah.
We're in first place. But, like, our defense was balling out those games, and, like, they're winning you games. And, you know, that's great to have, too. But you obviously, everyone wants to see the offense.
Yeah.
And
it's humming right now. But the reason I asked that original question is because there is a lot of people, and I say they as in just like, it's typically just idiots with burner accounts and stuff. But there, after I think it was the Houston game, we're like, oh, look at DJ Moore's facial expressions. He's pissed. He's not getting the ball. I would like, no, exactly. You just kind of did it with a laugh right there.
Yeah.
But do you take time to like dispel that kind of garbage in the fan base?
I mean, I can't hear if you want me to. I mean, that's how
I love you to.
Well, that's how DJ is all the time. So, like,
grumpy guy?
he just, I don't know, he's just always like that.
Yeah.
I mean, on the sideline, I was joking with him, I think after that game, like, oh, look, I guess people are, because people were talking about it, like, oh, I guess you're a diva now or something.
Right, that's what people were saying. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's just not like he's just very monotone in his
stoic.
Very stoic and how he is and all that stuff. But like, I guarantee if you saw him, you know, 2 games ago, like when he was sitting on the sideline, like he's doing the same facial expression
When you're up by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he scored 2 touchdowns in a game. Of
course,
like, it's just how
it is with him specifically. It's so crazy because when he has the ball in his hand, he's a madman.
Yeah,
like, he runs like a running back. He's plays angry. He's a great guy to watch. And then you see him on the sidelines, just sitting there.
Yeah,
right. It's like a weird dichotomy between between the lines and off the sideline.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like a lot of guys are like that in some regard. But that's who DJ is. And like, if we were up a ton of points and you were to pan to him, like, he'd look just like that. Yeah.
So who is the vocal leader on the offense then?
Man, Mercedes is huge for us. I mean, one of the vocal leaders of the team, and you know, Mercedes, obviously, he brings a lot of wisdom and clarity to a lot of situations. Keenan has been great to have in so far. And I think it's been cool to see Caleb kind of find his own voice here. And, you know, he does a good job of understanding his position as a rookie, but, you know, also understanding his position of being the quarterback
He's got
the football team.
A leader inherently.
There's definitely a balance you got to play as a rookie, and he's been doing it really well.
Have you guys coached him up at all? No, I was on his side for this, but the post-game celebration with the goofy arm wave that he was getting shit for, I didn't think it was all.
He did like a weird like double fist pump, like it was almost. I can't even describe it really. That's what it was. It was like this. It was like here coming off. It was after the Rams game, I think.
Yeah,
and people were like,
"You didn't see this?
I didn't see this."
Yeah, people are just making fun of it. He's like, he can't. He was a bad dancer or something. Yeah, like he's got no rhythm.
I mean, how bad was the celebration?
I didn't think it was that bad, but Big Cat was like roasting him a little bit. He's like, I got to be fair. I got to be honest and have integrity when I'm, you know, watching and criticizing my team.
Like, okay, usually if something like that happens, like usually that's getting put up in our meeting.
Oh, really?
Like something like that
to bust balls and roast.
Yeah. So there's no way it could have been that bad.
I didn't think it was.
Okay.
Dan,
I thought it was a little awkward. It was a little bit awkward. I'll say that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It wasn't anything crazy though.
No.
It's the fan base busting balls more than
Okay.
What I think's funny though is like you say, just even being on the team, being in media, you got to hear it from some people, like from your life when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
Is there some
all
kids,
the time,
high school boys?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, anything that has to do with the Bears, I'm hearing about. So yeah, I get it all the time, and I think I've done my first 2 years, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. Like it's a lot of voices coming in and out, and there's a lot to listen to and a lot to see, and you got to definitely, for me personally, like I gotta have the self-discipline to detach myself from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I enjoy doing things like this, and like obviously what I'm doing over at my podcast, and it's a lot of fun. But like those are the only times I'm doing those things, and like I enjoy giving the information to people so they understand what's going on. And I think like the conversation we had about the Houston game of the protection and all those things, like those are things that you guys probably wouldn't have known.
No, I learned a lot from it. I enjoy that stuff.
Just to kind of give people a different perspective. And I'm not BSing, and I'm telling the truth when I say those type of things. But that's what I enjoy doing. But I can't listen to all this stuff, and you have to be able to put it away. And I see a lot of guys, especially now coming in from college, that they struggle with it. Like it's very hard for them. Like after the game, they're right on their phone. Like it's hard nowadays to detach yourself from that, because a lot of stuff is going on there, but you got to be able to remove yourself from all the social media stuff and what's being said, and just go do your thing.
So you just block your brother's phone numbers.
Yeah. That's all I do.
But that's it. I'm sure there's a guy from like you went to baseball camp with in 7th grade that's like a big Bears fan. It's like, oh come on, man, like what's Nagy doing? And you're like, dude, just shut up.
No, you do get those a lot, and I usually those texts just get ignored nowadays.
You have to.
But like, if you're gonna ask me something crazy like that, like I'm not gonna. I just can't entertain it. So I just don't even deal with it.
Yeah,
it's like, be real. Is Portnoy like really like that in real? It's like, dude, I don't know.
What's Big Cat?
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's funny. It's funny.
That is. So who is it? It's you, Doug, like all the Chicago.
Oh yeah. Me, Doug, TJ, Jack.
Sam.
That's 4.
Kieran.
Karan.
Yeah.
Karan.
2 Hinsdale guys, right?
Yeah.
The Orland lineman. What am I thinking? He's not there anymore.
Feeney.
He was there last year.
He was. He was there last year. Yeah. So I think it's 5 of us right now. But it's
which
a good
is kind of cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. It's awesome.
So I feel like there's probably maybe in Texas or Florida teams have it, but it's pretty rare to have like a northern team have 5 local boys.
For sure. Yeah. No,
Illinois did well for a while. Justin Jackson. I'm just thinking local Northwestern guys. Obviously Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Has a few.
But
the
they have
Naz guy,
all on their
the
hometown
Naz Notre
team,
Dame kid. What's his name? From Nazareth High School.
Oh, Julian Love.
Yeah,
it was.
Well, I mean, we put. Yeah. I'm saying that make their way to the Bears.
No, I know. I'm just thinking, but I was saying league wide, like Illinois high school football. From when it's gotten way better.
Well, severely underrated too. Like you look all over the league. There's guys from the Chicago area all around. Like I just found out the other day, the dude from Green Bay, the receiver, is what is it? Is it Jaden Reed? Is he from
Michigan State kid's a Chicago guy?
One of them's one of the
Alec
Green Bay
Pierce.
receiver.
He's a
One of the Green Bay receivers. Anyway, is a Chicago guy as well. But like, there's a ton of dudes all around from the area. So it's cool to see for sure. And I definitely think it's an underrated area of the country for high school football.
Yeah, he's from Naperville. You're right.
Who is it?
Jaden Reed.
It is.
Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that until yesterday.
I didn't know that either, and that's my conference. That's my neck of the woods.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So, I think there's a lot of talent, and it's funny we talk about Julian. Like Julian Love's like I think the greatest high school football player I've ever seen when I was there, and it was funny that I got to go play with him at Notre Dame and
Naz, right?
He was doing Naz, when he was at Naz. Yeah,
I swear if he doesn't get hurt in that playoff game against Clemson, where he's on the bike in the first,
we win that game.
I think so.
Yeah,
because they had all their points when he was.
You're right. I remember when he came out and they just started putting up points right after that. Yeah,
like instantly.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was a tough game. That did suck.
Yeah,
that did suck. Yeah.
You still follow the Irish pretty closely or no?
I do. It's funny. Like the first year in the league, it's funny. Like I was talking to like Caleb and all like Austin Reed and even Tyson, like guys who are like first, second year guys in the league, and you're really still in tune with college football.
Yeah,
and
all your friends are still.
Yeah, and I think after year 2, you look at it much differently. Like I don't watch it with the same appreciation as I watch NFL football, because I just feel like
talent level.
I just feel like, and I watch it, I'm like, man, this is like, honestly, this is bad football. Like this is really bad football, and I watch. It's just how I watch it now, and. I remember at the moment when I was in it, it was like, how do more people not just love college football? And it's awesome. It's really cool. But I'll keep up with Notre Dame when they're playing and when I got time to watch it when we're not traveling. But Besides that, I'm really not watching like the casual college football game anymore, which kind of stinks. I wish I had that.
I'm sure it'll
same
come
love.
back.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But I just look at it differently.
Yeah. Once your brother gets into college too.
Yeah. Maybe that'll help with it. Yeah, for sure.
Is he eyeballing anybody yet?
No, I think we'll see.
There's a local team that
Yeah, well, maybe that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Northwest.
Very hyper local team.
Yeah. The purple. Their stadium setup is awesome.
We went.
All three of them. I've been
it's pretty
twice,
cool.
and then,
Yeah. It's like the sweetest high school stadium you've ever been.
It's
that's awesome.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
It's
and then the new one they're
spot.
building is what? We're just like right next to it, or is it
So
where
they
Ryan
tore
Field
down.
was?
Yeah, they tore down Ryan Field.
Okay.
It's just flat, unexcavated land right now, and they're starting to build upward. So it's going to be like I don't know if you're into soccer or not. I'm not, but it's going to be like the European soccer fields with like the overhang, but not quite a dome.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's going to be super loud, I guess.
Trap the sound in there.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Pretty cool.
They're home this week. If you're not playing Old Elm, you should go.
Honestly,
Who are they playing?
it's
Wisconsin.
So it's a good.
That's
a
a
good
classic Big Ten match.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be nice 7-3 game at halftime.
Yeah. It's an
Lots of
11 a.m.
defense.
start.
11
11 a.m.
11.
I mean, come on.
It's
That's great.
as just like if you're not a football fan, take that away. Like you just sit and you drink a couple beers and you're on the lake and it's just a beautiful Saturday.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
Okay, maybe I'll have to
is
make some
nice.
arrangements to go.
Dave
go
has some
check it out.
connections. for
Yeah,
you.
honestly,
cool.
I'm not going to be here this weekend, but
All
if you want, I could get.
All right, I'll shoot you
yeah.
a text. And
Okay.
see. Yeah. That's
and Pat's Vider next week.
Pat's Vider next week. That is right. I will be at that game.
Oh, you're going?
I will be at that game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You gonna go?
Yeah.
I'm going to the Pats Rita game tonight.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go.
I haven't
Okay.
been to a high school
See you
football
there.
game of mine, I think, since like probably 2014.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
They're fun to go to, man.
This is my
Yeah.
fourth game this year if I go to that Pats Vider game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun atmosphere.
It is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
great.
You can't beat high school football. High
That's
school
awesome.
is special.
That's-
It's all your guys.
my
you
high
grew up
school
with. Yeah.
stinks now though, and I'm pissed at them for it.
Well,
I'm pissed because they moved conferences. That's what I'm actually mad at. But
Are they still at Roosevelt Field over there?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they're still there.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, then. Anything else?
I have one olive branch to extend.
Okay.
I wore my sweetness t-shirt today in commemoration of an all-time great Bear, an all-time great running back, an
Yeah.
all-time great human,
Yep.
all-time great Chicago, not Chicago win, but face of Chicago, probably on the Mount Rushmore of just Chicago athletes,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
with MJ and whoever else.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I love Walter Payton.
You just had to say that after
Yeah,
after the whole draft. deal.
Yeah.
What was the quote that he had?
Said he was not an athlete.
Yeah.
So
Not an athlete.
funny enough,
Is that what you
like-
said? Not an athlete.
yeah, I think that was the quote.
I did backtrack it. Usually I dig my heels in when people argue with me. That was a incorrect take. However,
Greatest running back of all time.
funny enough,
Yeah.
I saved the picture or it was like NFL Films or something had a Walter Payton little highlight montage this morning, and they were talking. He's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but he was
So
the
is
best.
this a Dave was right video?
A little bit. But that's
Yeah,
what I
but
was
like
getting
even
at.
though he wasn't like the biggest or like he was still probably like the fifth fastest. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
know, like he's not like he was like slow.
No,
You know what
of
I mean?
course. Yeah,
Like-
yeah. But just wanted to re-clear the air.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. And that's good.
I love
Hey,
Walter.
Dave.
It's a big man
Credit-
of you to
credit to you,
yeah,
Dave.
Yeah,
Credit to me.
absolutely.
All the
You're
credit to me right now.
right.
All
Yeah.
the credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accountability, and admitting when I'm incorrect.
That's good stuff. That's
First
good
time.
stuff.
That's
I love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, then, Cole. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's always fun to stop by.
Yeah, it was great.
Stop
Thanks for
by.
doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Go Bears, keep it
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah,
Keep it
bear
rolling,
down.
man.
Let's keep rolling. That
Yeah.
NFC North gauntlet. So.
Yeah.
Oh, here it comes, baby.
haven't even-
Here it comes.
It's around the corner.
Actually, that's my last question. Serious. How awesome is it? Is it a good thing or bad thing from your perspective that the NFL or the NFC North is just the best division
By
of
far
all
the
time?
best division in football.
I think it's exciting.
Yeah,
I think that's what we
I
want.
agree.
I mean, we're gonna be playing some big time games here to end the season, and I think for the foreseeable future, this is what it's probably gonna look like.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it's fun to play in the spotlight games. So to have our conference be really at the spotlight at this point and be doing so well, I think is really cool. And it just means more primetime games in the future and a lot of cool matchups down the road. I think.
Try not to ruin everyone's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's my favorite game to play in. I can't.
Yeah?
Oh, that's my favorite game.
Yeah.
I love that Thanksgiving game. It's the best.
It's cool.
Play in Detroit. I think they got a great stadium, cool vibes there. And then, you get the win, get home, and you're back in time for Thanksgiving dinner. It's the best.
It's awesome.
Damn, we were supposed to go to that this year, too.
So we're doing at Minnesota and at Green Bay, and we did the Colts game.
Okay.
So
yeah,
nice.
We'll be back. I said we're going back every year to Green Bay until we get a win up there.
Have you been to Minnesota before?
No. It's my first time.
My!
I heard it's
gosh.
awesome.
That's my favorite stadium.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
that's my favorite stadium. Yeah, it is awesome. They have
Nice.
a crazy cool vibe. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, you'll love it. Minnesota's cool, man.
Monday Night Football too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'll be sweet. Yeah, it'll be a cool atmosphere. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of big games.
A lot of big games coming, man.
Coming up.
Keep it rolling.
Bye week seemed perfectly timed too.
Yeah, I thought it was good. This is the earliest bye week I've ever had. I usually have it. I've had it at like week 10 or later.
Yeah.
Do you prefer this?
I'll let you know at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Did you like playing in London?
I did. I loved it. I hope we go back every year.
Really? Okay.
We have an international.
We hate. Oh, it's.
I thought we had a watch party at a bar, and I was
Cody's.
at Cody's, and I was like, are people going to be there? It's 8 a.m. I was the first one.
Packed.
Slammed.
That's
we would
awesome.
not have had a table if it was not like reserved.
Well, I feel like that fits like the Chicago vibe perfectly. We're talking about like college football, like the early college football start. Like, so people are kind of used to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think people like really enjoyed the London. There was a ton of Chicago fans in London.
It looked like a home game.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was so loud. Stadium was awesome, and the whole thing was great. But I thought it played in well to the Chicago fans.
All right, another dumb question. I couldn't tell watching the game on TV. Was that grass or is it turf?
It's turf.
Oh, so they have to wheel it in then.
Yeah. It's a different type of turf, which I liked. It was a pretty hard turf. I was pretty sore after the game, but all in all, I thought it was a good playing service. So it was good. They had a good setup over there. That's for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, now we could actually end it.
Yeah.
Paul.
All right.
Thank you
Now it's
again.
over.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
Get you down to the yak.
Absolutely.